After a long, cold day in the snow, playing, building snowmen, and having fun, nothing beats coming home to a nice hot bowl of soup. What makes it even better is when the soup is homemade with love, with vegetables from your own garden. And that's exactly what this soup is. This soup is special. This soup is different. This soup was made with love and intention for my family, with tomatoes that I grew from seed from my own garden. And now we get to enjoy those tomatoes once again during the winter, together, during the holidays. And that, to me, is one of the greatest gifts gardening can give.
Hello my friends, happy holidays. Welcome back to Fearless Home Gardening. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Amanda, and today I am going to teach you how to make a delicious, vegan, creamy tomato basil soup with the tomatoes from my own garden. A couple quick things before we get started. First of all, I made this soup this past summer. We get to enjoy it now during the winter time, which is so cool. But I did actually make this soup in the summertime, back when I had just so many tomatoes. That's one of the beautiful things about canning your food. As you got to see in the beginning of the video, we are still enjoying tomatoes from our garden, even during the holidays. Now you can go ahead and make this soup with tomatoes from the market, totally fine. Can't promise you it's gonna have the same flavor as tomatoes from your own garden. You can totally go ahead and just buy a package of tomatoes from the grocery store or the market and go ahead and make this soup. Okay, so the second thing, I'm a gardener, I'm not a cook. I like to cook, I enjoy cooking, but by no means am I a professional in any way. I will give you the basic ingredients of what I use to make my soup, and you'll get to watch about how many of these ingredients I use and how much of these ingredients I use. Please don't ask me for measurements. I truly have no idea. I have never in 42 years followed a recipe 100%. Maybe I have, maybe I'm exaggerating. I think I have, but I really don't think so. Use that as encouragement to go ahead and, you know, if you like more garlic, add more garlic. If you like a saltier soup, go ahead, add salt to your soup, add more salt, add more sugar, do what you like. It's your soup, make it your own. I know the amount of soup that I made in this video made about 4 24-ounce jars of tomato soup. I did that a couple different times throughout the summer when I had a plethora of tomatoes. But yeah, I'm a gardener, I'm not a cook. Please don't ask me for measurements because you're going to be sadly disappointed. And finally, and probably the most important part of this beginning part of this video, you are going to see me blending hot tomatoes in a blender. Notice, and I will say this later in the video as well, there is not a top on the blender. You can put a rag over the top of it and lightly cover it. Do not leave the top on your blender while you are blending hot food in it. The hot food expands, the steam expands, it needs to go somewhere. If you've got it trapped in there while you're spinning all that hot food around, it's going to be dangerous. If you have a glass blender, I don't know what else you would have, but the glass in your blender could shatter, it could break, it could pop when you take the top off. Please, whatever you do, I want you all to be careful. I want you all to be healthy and happy. Please, whatever you do, do not leave the top on your blender while you're blending hot food. Not just tomato soup, not just hot tomatoes, any hot food, please take the top off your blender. Okay, enough of my talking. Let's go make some soup.
Let's begin at the beginning. Ingredients. First, you're gonna need tomatoes, obviously. If you have tomatoes in season in your garden right now, go ahead and grab as many as you'd like. If not, go ahead and grab some tomatoes from the market. I also use olive oil, celery salt, seasoned salt, garlic. In this recipe, I use garlic from a jar because that's all I had on hand at the moment, but I do highly recommend fresh garlic from your own garden. Cashews, pine nuts, water, liquid smoke, oregano and basil from your garden if you have that available. And as an optional final ingredient, you can add sugar. If you are making this vegan, you can use sugar in the raw. As far as I know, that is a vegan option for sugar. But before adding any sugar at all, I definitely recommend that you taste your soup first. If you're using tomatoes picked from your garden in the warm summer sun, there's a very good chance that your soup will already be sweet enough. Let's head out to the garden to grab some ingredients. First, I'll grab some basil. This is the mammoth basil that I grew this year. I got these seeds from M.I. Gardener. I'm just going to say that I got all of these seeds from M.I. Gardener. Let's just clear that up. So I grabbed about a handful. Then we grabbed some tomatoes. These were the great white tomatoes. This actually happens to be a really great tomato for anyone who doesn't particularly like tomatoes all that much. It has a very mild flavor, and they're very low in acidity if that is a concern for you. This is a Chernobyl tomato. I grabbed one of those. This is fantastic. The beautiful thing with using tomatoes like this is you can just cut that part out and you don't waste anything. Now is the perfect time to go ahead and grab all of that damaged fruit that's on the vine. Bring them inside. Boom! Cut them up. You're done. Cool. Okay, maybe not done. Let's keep going. You can add extra virgin olive oil or vegetable stock if you'd like to omit the oil. I'm adding some celery salt and then some seasoned salt. And dried oregano from the garden. I grew this oregano in the garden, dried it in the dehydrator, and now it's perfect for soups and any kind of recipes that I want to use it in, and it stores for quite a long time. Okay, so I just add in about a small handful and a half of dried oregano. Great. Here's the garlic. Go ahead and add as much or as little garlic as you would like. I definitely recommend fresh garlic though if you can. Look at how delicious this looks. So excited. Okay, now add in the fresh basil from the garden. Go ahead and chop it up really coarsely and then just mix it in with the rest of the ingredients. Put that in a preheated oven. Note to self, next time clean the oven before shooting a video. While that's in the oven, let's go ahead and make that cashew pine nut cream sauce. So we have this really incredible market here called Green Life Market. They have these organic, dry roasted garlic herb cashews. You can go ahead and just use plain cashews if you want to, but these were amazing. I'm going to give you a bit of a measurement here. I used a cup, so that's a half cup right there. I used 2 of those, and of course pick up any little escapees. There we go. Okay, got it. So we have about a cup of cashews, and you're going to want to soak those in water. Just completely cover them in water and let them soak for about an hour. In all honesty, you really should do this before you even chop up your tomatoes. Now we're going to go ahead and lightly toast up some pine nuts. So set your heat on low and go ahead and toast those up until they're lightly brown. Mix those in with the cashews that are soaking. Top them off with some more water if you need to. Mix thoroughly and then set them aside to soak, again, for about an hour. And through the beauty of technology and editing, our tomatoes are now done. Go ahead and grab them out of the oven. Okay, my friends, it's that time again. If you have learned something from this video, even if it's just not to put the top on a blender when you have hot food in it, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the like button down below. That way YouTube knows that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so that you can follow along with the channel and be notified every time I upload a new video. After that comes one of my most favorite parts, the comment section. Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to get to know you all better. And let me know also if you like tomato soup, if you plan on making this recipe, or if you do try this recipe, let me know how you liked it. Next, share this on social media so that other people can enjoy the content. And then after the video, hop on over to Facebook and join us on our brand new Fearless Home Gardening Facebook group, a supportive community of gardeners, nature lovers, and friends. This will be a place where we can share our garden photos, ask questions, get answered, share our successes, and learn how to overcome our challenges. Well, our garden challenges at least. I'll see you over there. Now let's get back to that recipe. Okay, so here I'm just adding in some liquid smoke. I could have added this in before I put the tomatoes in the oven, but I forgot. But no worries, we just go ahead and add it in afterwards. And then let your tomatoes sit and cool. Give them about an hour. After that time, you can go ahead and start adding them to the blender. Now I know I touched on this at the beginning of the video, but I'm a mom, I repeat myself. Please remove the top of the blender before blending the hot food. Let's all just be safe and cautious. Deal? Thanks. Okay, now comes the fun part. Now is when we blend up all of those tomatoes and seasonings and juices, blend them all up together. And this is when the magic happens. This is when soup is made. Go ahead, blend up all the tomatoes and then return them back to the pan that you roasted them in. Now let's go ahead and make that creamy roasted pine nut and cashew cream. So you're going to take the nuts and the water that are soaking, add everything to the blender. Scrape out all the little pieces. Okay, put the top back on. You can put the top on for this since it's cold. Blend all of that on high for about 2 or 3 minutes. And eventually, this is what you end up with. A creamy toasted pine nut cashew cream, which adds incredible texture, creaminess, and flavor to this soup. It's absolutely delicious. Mix that in thoroughly. Be careful not to spill any over the sides, obviously. And voila, we have a creamy vegan tomato basil soup. Now we did put 1 or 2 of these just straight into a jar and into the refrigerator and ate them immediately. The rest of them were canned properly. You can get very sick if you do not can things properly. But when canned properly, you will be enjoying soup well into the winter time.
Okay guys, that was it. That was my soup video. That was my holiday video. I hope you enjoyed it. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy everything, Merry everything to everyone. I hope 2021 brings you happiness and health and joy and togetherness. And like I say, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, be fearless in life, be fearless in your garden, and be fearless in your kitchen.